Richard Crouse.
Well, as a viewer, too, you have to know that it's not shot from start to finish. It's shot in little fits, in out of order. Mm-hmm. So that on the same day, you could conceivably be doing part of the film that takes place in the beginning of the film and a part that takes place at the end of the film, and they could have two completely different tones. So as an actor, I guess, the trick is to trust the director enough that he is going to guide you so that all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle will eventually fit together and make the final product.
Yeah, that's really what the director is, kind of the guy who's got the karaoke heartbeat of the film, right, and says, "Oh no, you've jumped to the verse. Yeah. We're still on the chorus, Paul." Oh, okay. Yes.
I really loved Bill's film Treat Murray. Mm-hmm. Treat Murray, I think, is a terrific movie, and again, a very different kind of movie than this. But I think that the thing that sort of unites the two of them is that they're both interesting character studies of people, and people in unusual situations. And I think he's really good at making something that could just be a fish out of water story and turning it into something else.
Yeah, and he's got a real affection for his characters, and that's. You'd think that all directors are like that, but actually there aren't. Right. And he loves them all, and he wants them all to be given their kind of the human dignity that he thinks they should be invested with, and I think that comes off when you're playing it, and I can see it in the scenes. I actually haven't seen the finished film, but
right.
I think I will on Monday. But the cuts that I've seen of it, I thought that's amazing. Actually, everyone is given their due. There's they're not shortchanged, and that's really Bill.
Yeah, there's a little Greek chorus of three guys who are there from...
This town doesn't have just one village idiot, it has three village idiots. And that's half the population.
Yeah, and you learn very early on that they are, in fact, idiotic, but in a funny way, with some kind of... distinctive vocal tics. The one guy, anyway. But you have a mix of characters like him. Plus, you have kind of the gentle giant in the blacksmith.
Yeah.
So you've got a really wide range of characters here that he does. In fact, give everyone a chance enough to breathe and actually become a character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, that also, all the actors then feel that, well, I'm not just here to fill in a piece. Right. I'm actually here as integral to the story. And then I think that completely fills up the whole feeling of it being a world that was truly inhabited. Right. So when I watched it, it was very exciting to see. I think it's really fun. I like it.
Well, tell me a little bit about the look of the Montana Kid, because it's something we haven't really seen from you before. There's long, scraggly hair. There's which for sure were hair extensions. I don't know. Were they? Is that a wig? Yeah, tell me.
No hair extensions. Yeah. Richard. There are those decisions you make every once in a while. That was just really stupid. I honestly, I woke up one morning and I thought, I think it's before I went out to BC to start getting, kind of organized to do the film, and I woke up thinking, I think he should have long hair. And I have no idea why that happened. But then I promptly got on the phone. I said, I think you should have long hair. I need to get someone set up to get extensions out there. When Bill said, really? Long hair? Why do you want to... Bill, it'll work. Just trust. And if it doesn't, we can just cut it. So then it was all organized. Now, I don't know if you've ever had really long hair with extensions.
No, you know what? I haven't.
Okay, don't. If someone comes up to you on the street and says, hey, Richard, I can give you long hair, just don't talk to the guy.
Okay.
So it takes about 112 hours to get them in, and they're applied largely with a nail gun. They're just driven straight into your skull, and then you're stuck with this long hair. And I don't get women. I don't know why they'd have long hair. It's appalling. It's in your mouth. It's in your food. It mats up on your face. It's just after you're sleeping, you're covered in this stuff, and then on top of that, so we get out to the set and we're shooting, and it's 400. It was 312 degrees in the Kelvin scale. Honestly, 312 degrees.
This is in BC where
That's
you
shot,
BC,
right? 312. 45 Celsius. 312 Kelvin. I looked it up. And the hair, something went wrong with it, apparently.
Right. Well, it probably started to melt.
Just about. But it started to mat, but particularly on the right side, until it looked kind of like Princess Leia on meth or something. I had like a cow patty set sideways on my head, and they could not untangle it. So then they just cut it off. So I had one short side and one ridiculously long side. And then the end of the day, I would go into the 7-Eleven to get milk or something. And I looked unhinged. for the whole time I was in BC.
It's like one of those people that do the impersonations, like woman on one side, then they turn and it's the man, with the short hair and the long hair.
It was like it, man. And the good people of Osoyoos, BC had never seen anything like this, so they wouldn't even sell me milk, even at the 7-Eleven.
Well, let's talk about Osoyoos, BC, because it looks extraordinarily remote in the film. Tell me a little, but you mentioned there's a 7-Eleven, so it can't be. Tell me a little bit about shooting there and 45-degree weather.
It was the real heat. That was pretty nasty because we were in this. I was wearing a 3-piece wool suit on top of that, a big hat and boots, and I think the worst thing really was the dust. I mean, it was so dry, and then the silt that got kicked up from the ground was really unbelievable. I mean, if you actually saw pictures of the crew, they're all wearing bandanas or masks and ski goggles, and we're all, of course, actors, all standing out there just sucking back clouds. It's like the clouds out of Iceland. They stop planes in this kind of stuff, and we kept shooting. I think that was the hardest part, and it didn't last for the entire shoot, but we started out that way. I have to say, I didn't even know this area of the country existed. I've seen a lot of Canada. I didn't know it was there, and I just encourage everyone to go. It's absolutely staggeringly beautiful. It's the northern edge of the Sonoran Desert that runs all the way down to California.
Right.
So it's right along the border with the U.S. and kind of halfway point, midway through the bottom of the Okanagan Valley.
Right.
And it was absolutely spectacular. And it was our set was about a half hour out of Osoyoos, and then we would have the base camp. And this was this is kind of a dream job. I'd get my horribly heavy clothes on, and then I'd get on my horse and I would ride the 10 minutes up to the set.
And you know how to ride, right?
Yeah.
You know this is something that comes naturally to you, right?
Yeah, I didn't have to work on that.
Right.
And as it turns out, I didn't even have to work on spinning a Colt 45. I was born with it, apparently.
Really?
No. I had to really practice that. But, I've got it now. It's another skill I can put on the resume next to voodoo and typing, and I got Colt 45 manipulation.
Well, it looks very cool in the film. It's one of those things that I guess there are certain conventions of the Western that you have to have in there. If the gunslinger doesn't twirl a gun,
he's not a gunslinger.
He's not a gunslinger.
No, he's a pretender.
Richard Crouse.